Thank you for listening to the Following Films podcast. I'm your host, Chris Maynard. This Friday, a chilling new nightmare arrives on Shudder, and it explores the dark, complicated, and sometimes supernatural bonds of family. The film is Voices of Our Mother, and it follows Harriet after the death of her 95-year-old mother. When Harriet suffers an unexplainable health scare, her 4 estranged children return to the ancestral family home to care for her. But as old animosities and long-buried secrets come to light, they quickly realize their mother's illness is anything but medical. There's a supernatural evil awoken inside her, one seeking revenge on her own children just to survive. Joining me today to discuss this tense, 93-minute psychological horror film is its writer, director, and co-star, Mark O'Brien. We're going to talk about building tension, balancing family drama with supernatural terror, and bringing this eerie vision to life. But before we dive into the interview, if you enjoy the show, please take a quick moment to support us by leaving a review on your favorite podcast platform and telling a friend about the episode. Word of mouth means everything to an independent show like ours. Now, let's welcome Mark O'Brien to the Following Films podcast. Hope you enjoy the show. Thanks.
I'm good. How you doing?
I'm good. Thank you so much for taking the time to do this, man. I appreciate it.
You're welcome. I like your collection in the background.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah.
Are you a physical media collector also?
Massive. Yeah. So I'm like trying to read them.
I can't. If somebody pops on and they have albums or movies in the background, I will spend half the call just trying to look through the spine labels to see exactly what they have in there.
What kind of order do you put them in?
Right now I'm changing it over, because I'm going to rebuild the shelves that I have because they need to go up to the ceiling because it's gotten too much. But I have it by label, which makes no sense at this point.
No, I do some label. I have my Arrow, Kino Lorber, and my Criterions in one. But then I have the rest of them, like Prohibitor and some of those Twilight Time.
Yep.
I go by director. So with the rest of them, I'm like, I don't have enough of those. Anyway, we can go on forever.
That is literally the exact way that I have them, where it's by label with Criterion, Arrow, a few others that I have that have started to pop up where the spines just look good together. And
the Vista imprints, I like those too.
Yeah. Yes. Those look really good. The Kino Lorbers also, those are just so uniform.
Because they're the same. Yeah, they look good together. Oh my God. Anyway.
And I also do it by director, and then there's just at the bottom just kind of the random stuff that fills out that doesn't fit into any of the above. But that's
they're not the ones you're turning to daily. Yeah, I understand.
Okay, so I got to start off by asking you something incredibly specific that probably has nothing to do with your film, but it was something that really struck a nerve with me. And I'm wondering if you're a Stephen King guy at all.
I'm not actually a massive Stephen King guy, but I'll tell you, I read some stuff when I was younger. I've had an English degree, so I was in school. I remember reading a few of his books. But what really actually struck me was On Writing, his book On Writing.
It's phenomenal. Yeah,
it's the best book about writing I've ever read, and I've read so many, and that struck me. So his kind of discipline and that kind of way of going about things, I really really applies to me. But in terms of his work, I like the idea of it, but somehow I don't return to it.
There's something hyper specific in one of his books that your film unlocked for me that I've never been able to fully get my head around. And it's in the book Duma Key, which makes no sense that would be between the setting of your film. This thing's set in South Florida, but there's a guy painting sunsets in it. And he talks about these shallow blues and these really light reds and pinks and oranges, and the way they become unnerving when you look at it. And I've always thought, how can a sunset be scary? It just never made sense to me. Then I'm watching your film, and the way that you use these light reds and pinks and blues in this film, it made sense. The way that you splash pink across the bottom of people's faces, and it's almost you're using the tones of a sunset in a way that are utterly unnerving. So I think it's you connected something I had never seen. I thought I would get my head around.
Honestly, my goal as a filmmaker is for people to think about things that aren't in the movie. Because when you're watching art that is challenging you, or for some reason it's connecting with you, you end up thinking other things too. And so that was very intentional in the movie because it's like an infection.
Yes.
And there's some days that it's like it's so red in the sky and you're like, weird, is something gonna happen? Like,
Yeah.
and so you know what I mean? I always love that. And in the movie gets redder and redder actually, because it's like an infection from the mother. Yeah.
Oh, absolutely. And when you see inside her perspective, it's these really deep reds and blacks. And when
Yeah.
you're seeing in her through her eyes, you have that whole. It's telling you what's going to happen in
Yeah.
in a sense of where this film is heading from the beginning. And if you have another actor in that, I don't think anybody else could have pulled this off, because what she's doing is so. In one scene, she has to be incredibly frail and weak, and in the same, just on a turn of an eye, the way she looks, be utterly frightening, and she pulls it off so beautifully. And was this
Yeah.
written for her, or how did you find her? Because she's been
No,
around for a while, but I wasn't familiar with her.
she's amazing. Sheila McCarthy. She's been in so many different things, and what I loved about her is, first of all, she's extremely talented, but second of all, she has a meekness to her, like physically. Like she
Yeah,
looks like she's such a small woman. Like she's thin, she's in very good shape, but she's small, and that looks like she's like could be pushed over so simply. And then, but I also know she had a fierceness as a performer that I was like, oh, she can revel in what she's turning into or becoming emotionally even. And that's so hard to find because it is sort of a physical thing too, like, and I was like, I need someone who can appear to be so small and so delicate but then be the opposite, which is a challenge, but she nailed it, man.
and the way you mentioned she revels in it, which is something that there's a playfulness in her performance that I think that it's to me, it's in like Nicolas Cage's best performances,
Yeah.
where he just really, it's people call it like chewing scenery, but I think you're just like fully embodying the film, and it's just also anchored around her performance. Because if it's not, that doesn't work. The
No.
you don't have the emotional anchor, and you don't have the horror in the film either, which is a really tough thing to balance in one character.
Yeah, it is, and I think like yeah, she understood it so well because it was very specific. Because the movie's kind of, I do like melodrama a lot. Like I do love the
Yeah,
idea of big ideas, and but if you said it with really good acting, you believe it. You know what I mean? Like every time I see Nathan Lane perform, I think he's great. Like, you know what I mean? He's
yeah,
shooting for the rafters, but it's great. So I think it's like when the ideas are big, but the acting is strong, you'll fall into it. But also with her, it had to be a bit like it had to be surprising. Like you have to like see her sometimes and be surprised. And it was a delicate balance because there's a scene in the basement with Annika, the priest, and her. And
yeah,
I remember thinking about it a lot of being like, typically this would be like a scary scene, but I don't think it's about that. I actually think it's just more unnerving for Annika to watch her enjoy this. Like, you know what I mean? As
yeah,
opposed to like, ha, ha, and scaring her. And so we actually shot it quite plainly. And I was like, it's more about what she's telling her.
yeah.
And she did that so well because it was just playful and it wasn't like, yeah, scary and typical or anything like that. And yeah, she was great.
Well, there's something that's, you can have something that jumps out and it's scary because it's a prosthetic, and it just surprises you. Then you can have something that's calm and slow and deliberate, and that's the stuff that crawls underneath your skin, and that's by far more impactful to me. You can have
Yeah.
both, and you have both in this film, but I mean, those are the things that for me I end up revisiting. It's something that your film is about something. There's a plot to the movie, but it's clearly about something else. You could have also called this movie, families are fucked up, aren't they? It's like it's just
Yeah.
it's like being in a family is hard. It's difficult. There's these things that we bury and hide, and there's trauma is a word that's used a lot, but there's these secrets that we have
Yeah.
that we carry on for generations. And what is the sort of weight of those secrets, and what does that
And
mean
how
to
do
the
you
next in line?
Yeah, and how do you feel with the people who are close to you and love you most? Like you hide things from them, but you need them the most. And the cyclical nature of life, like, that quote, once a man, twice a child. Like once you get
Hmm.
older,
Yeah,
your kids got to take care of you. How did you take care of them? Because no matter how altruistic you might be, you're going to remember that, like, a bit of like, F you didn't treat me well when I was younger. Now I got to take care of you as you die. Like, so that nature of like, it's such an odd dynamic that we all live through of the way you were brought up informs the way you are. And each character in this movie is so informed by the history
Yeah.
And they're all kind of different in that way.
Very much
And
so.
then it informs the exact way they want to treat their mother. So, it's weird that it's even a horror movie. It's in a way.
Well, I think of the way that you frame shots in this, and it's pretty unconventional for a horror film. The way that there's a moment that is where you have all the family when the mother's in the hospital and they're first after she, passes out, and she has that first moment of infection that becomes obvious to everyone. And they're all figuring out what's going on. The way that you have everybody lined up in that shot, it looks like it's a poster for a film that's not,
Yeah.
I'm sorry, that's not the movie that we're watching at that moment. It's not something you would normally see in a movie like this. And it's so beautiful. And you're telling a story with each one of the family members and how they're lined up in the shot. You can see, who's the person that is controlling the moment, who's the person that's reluctant, and the way their body language is turned away from it and everything. And it's you could look at that shot and kind of tell the whole story of the film, I think. And so is that it's intentional, I'm assuming.
Yeah. Thank you so much, first of all, for getting that. Yeah, it was very intentional because it's exactly like William. He's running the show, but he's next to his twin sister, who's an equal, who doesn't talk as much. And then behind, it's like you have Martin, who's kind of slumped over, and then you have Annika, who's sitting proper, and then you have the priest who's standing there, who should know more. Yeah. So he should be the benevolent one, and he sort of is, but he's turned side on because he's not certain. So when I told the actors that, I'm an actor myself, so I'm also like, yes, I don't want to hem you in, but don't move too much. It just tells a story that even the priest is uncertain. And then we have one shot of Annika's hands where they go like that. They stretch in and out. They push and pull on one another. And it's just showing that now she's starting to be like them as well. And it's starting to infect. And we saw her mom actually do that too. So it's like, it's starting to stress on her. Like it's getting in tighter and tighter. And then we did shots just above, which, make you diminutive and everything like that. So they're all becoming smaller as they turn on one another. So yeah, it was very, very intentional. I think stuff like that is so important. Sometimes when I watch a movie, I'll just pause it and be like, oh my God, that tells a whole story.
Yeah.
Right there. Like it's incredible. And it impacts you in a way that you kind of can't even think, you don't even notice you're thinking about it.
Absolutely.
And I love stuff like that.
Well, it's, I can't remember exactly who said it, but the idea that you should be able to turn the sound off on the film and get an idea of what the story is. You might miss the details. You should have an idea of the broad strokes of where this is headed, because it is a visual medium and you need to understand it in that way. And your writing, your directing, your acting in the piece, is there ever a part where you're looking back at the writing and saying, who wrote this shit? Who boxed us in this corner right now? And why am I having to do this?
Somewhere someone sent me a clip of my first film, The Righteous, a while ago. And I hadn't seen the movie since it's been released because I saw it so many times, obviously when you're editing and going to the screenings. And I was like, I wrote this? Like, what the fuck? What was I going through? Like, this is crazy. And the same thing with Voice of Our Mother, because it's such crazy big ideas. And yeah, I don't know where it comes from, but I think that's the best feeling, because it really is coming from your soul, because I can't describe it. I'm like, I don't know. I think it's insane. This movie is nuts, but it's what I had to say. And I just love a movie impacting you and hitting you hard, and whether you like it or not. Like it got you. Like, what really affected me a lot was the movie. I love John Cassavetes, and the movie Husbands. Yeah. And Husbands is a tough watch. It's 2 hours and 25 minutes. It goes on forever. They're at that pub drinking and singing for God knows how long. You're like, is this gonna happen for the rest of my life, this movie? And at the end of the movie, when John Cassavetes goes home and his real son, Nick Cassavetes, is there, and he watches him run to the back of the house or whatever, I lost it. I cried so hard. And I said, wow, if he had cut even 3 minutes out of that movie, maybe I wouldn't be crying right now. So it's like, what impacts you in something that lasts longer than 30 seconds or a week is really what appeals to me. So I really put my heart and soul into it, even though I look back later and I think I'm a psychopath.
Well, I think if you're in the moment, what you're trying to say, you're probably going to fuck it up, because you have to kind of write, or you have to create from a place where you're just letting it pour out of you. And then you can look back in retrospect and think, oh, okay, this is what I was going through at that time. This is where I was in my head. When we tell stories, and, the story of a relationship, a breakup, or anything like that, you can, in the moment, you'll have a much different story about what happened than you would 5 years with some distance and perspective on it. And good art you look at when, you're kind of, to me, when you're creating something, you'll be surprised by what you were going
Yes.
through. And in visiting it years later, you could see that also, probably a much deeper understanding of it than you have even in the moment when you've watched it 500 times in editing.
Yeah, you're so right, man. It's so true, and yeah, that's it's what's great about art and film. It lasts forever, so it does impact you differently when you go back to it years later. Just like when you watch a great movie. I just rewatched Shadow of the Vampire, and I was like, I haven't seen this,
Oh,
seen it
I
many
love
times,
that.
but I haven't seen it in like 7 years because I had to hunt down the Blu-ray. I got the Spanish one, whatever. Anyway, I was watching it. I was like, wow, this is hitting me so differently. I still love it. It's hitting me so differently than like 8 years ago since I've seen it or whatever. Even though I've seen it so much, and I just love when art does that. And you're right, like when you're making it, I'm always just thinking in every scene, it's like, how am I contributing to what the theme of the movie is? And this movie is how do you find love in the face of evil? And it's in every scene. It's in
Yeah.
every scene because people are brutal to one another in this movie. And it's like, but how do we push forward through it? And Annika, who my wife plays in the film, Georgina Riley, she was always saying when we were in prep and everything like that, she was like, I don't really say much. I was like, I know that's the point. You have to gain agency, and
Yeah.
gaining agency to me is really, really interesting. When it's Michael Corleone, really, like it's that whole thing. It's like, how do you, or Prophet, like it's becoming yourself is sometimes more interesting than being a guy with a certain set of skills who should beat up everybody. But
Oh,
yeah,
no, coming of age stories are universal because of that,
yeah,
because it is about finding yourself. That's somebody who has found them. I can watch the, Man Without a Name trilogy a million times. That's a guy who knows who he is. That's
yeah,
fine. I can absolutely, his arcs are very small in those where, okay, he's going
yeah.
to do the thing. He's going to be a slightly better person in this one because of the act. But yeah, a kid figuring it out, a person getting through a relationship, somebody figuring out where their place in a family is, all those elements that you're dealing with this. I love that. And I think
Yeah,
that's
and things
what,
coming at you. And that's why I
yes.
love a good coming of age. Like, what's why Forrest Gump is so great. It's like there's so much coming at him.
Yeah.
It's like everything he tries, it's like it's at him. He's in war. Like now he becomes a ping pong champion. Like there's so much. And I think the more pressure you put on your characters, the more invested you are as a viewer.
Well, I know we're at time right now, and I feel like I've barely scratched the surface with you. This is a great film. Congratulations. I
Thank
think you've
you.
got something really special here. I'm hoping that Shudder will put this one out on Blu-ray so that I can throw this one in the collection in the mix. I know they do that every once in a while. So if not, I will definitely be reviewing it on the service because that's the easiest $5 a month to spend is the Shudder subscription. So, but yes, I'm
Awesome.
hoping I can put it up on the wall at some point.
Me
So.
too. God, I need a Blu-ray. I can't live without having one of my movies on a Blu-ray. Really nice talking to you, man. Like that was really insightful. Thank you.
Oh, no, thank you. And thank you for reminding me that I still have a Shadow of the Vampire DVD that was from Hollywood Video that's used that I have not upgraded to Blu-ray because I haven't found it yet. And you saying there's a Spanish version out there, I need to go hunt that down. So
I
that's
found it. I found it on eBay or something. I probably spent like a fortune on it, but it's worth it. It's
to you
worth
and
it.
I. To you and
Yeah.
I. Not probably not to my wife, but to us, yes.
Yeah,
Thank you so much, man. Congratulations.
Thanks, Christopher. Nice meeting you, man.
You as well. Take care.
Bye.
And it's hot inside of the sun. I could put you there. And it's hot inside of the sun. I would put you there. Just might explode. Acting like I meant to hurt. Screaming like I meant to hurt. of the sun, I would put you there. And it's hot inside of the sun, I would put you there.